will say, Terry.
Go on.
I will say, if you guys do end up getting someone like Zubimendi, honestly, that is a massive game changer for you. You lot. This is probably a guy that if he steps into this league, he is in the category of Declan Rice for me. He is in the same category as him because technically he's a very, very proficient footballer. Defensively, he's a very good footballer. He is an all-round player, and there's reason why managers like Mikel Arteta and Xabi Alonso are desperate to have someone like him in your team.
Mm-hmm.
And for Man United to go up and pick him up, it's going to be, it'll probably be, for me, signing of the season. Honestly, I don't think any other team can match that. The kind of caliber player that he is, and to have someone, Kobbie Mainoo, can look up to, but to play next to and complement him is going to be a scary sight. And I would probably say, not even top 4, I'll probably say you guys might finish third ahead of us if you guys end up signing him.
I only think they get Zubimendi though if McTominay and someone else goes. They're not going to bring in your guard.
No, because you need
to afford him.
Yeah, but no, I think they've got money in the bank to be able to do that right now. And also, you still need the depth. The depth is important because there's no point of replacing, because then arguably going to be in the same position as they were before. One injury to Zubimendi 5 games into the season, and then what are you going to do? You know, so
the same as the Timber situation, isn't it? Like Timber got injured
exactly
first
that.
Mason Mount, he was actually linked to a move to us. £35 million, Mason Mount. I mean, I personally wouldn't take it, to be honest. But if Man United could sell him, that's more money to go towards the pot.
Why wouldn't you take him though? I think he'll be very good for Tottenham.
Just because of one reason, because the fact that he come from that absolute tower of CAC, the other side of London. And for starters, he plays in the same position as Maddison predominantly. We're not going to rotate him and Maddison. The big plan at Tottenham is to give Mikey Moore as much game time as we can. They're not going to stop that for Mason Mount. And would Mason Mount really leave Man United for £35 million? Would they just spent 60 million on him only a year ago? That I can't see.
It depends if they sign who they sign in the summer. If they end up signing a couple more midfielders, then Mason Mount might have to weigh up his options.
Would you take Mason Mount?
Absolutely not.
There you go.
But we don't need him though. When
it comes to Mason Mount, though, I know Fabrizio shut it down really quickly, but I've seen him shut other transfers down that then happened. So Spurs first of all wanted Conor Gallagher. There's then some loose links to McTominay. Now Mason Mount. There seems to be a particular profile that your manager likes, like a hard-working English/British guy. So I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not saying he's a great signing. I'm not, because I'd love to see him leave, because I just don't think he offers anything. Like, I look at Mount most of the time and just go, he's there. He didn't do anything. Do you know what I mean? He's just sort of, you get like, did any of you ever watch this? My ex-wife and me used to watch it. Remember the Kardashians? Do you remember that?
Oh, I love that program.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah. So when it first came out, there was a couple of Mao kind of characters in it. One was a friend of the Kardashians. I don't remember his name. And the other one actually was a bloke that was dating or with one of the Kardashians.
Scott.
They didn't do anything, but they were just there, right? You get what I mean? They didn't have jobs. They were just friends of the Kardashians or sleeping with. That's what Mason Mount is. He's just there. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't do anything. He's just there. But would I be shocked if Tottenham signed him based on other players that your club have tried to talk to or been linked with? No. There's something about that style of football. Like Big Ange likes him. Big Ange seems to like her.
Conor Gallagher had a year left in his contract, and they were talking about £25 million or whatever. Man United aren't going to sell Mount for 35 million. The reason we're getting Ramsey is because of that Johan Langer link, him being the ex-Villa director of football, now joining Tottenham. Unai Emery wants to link back up with Giovanni Lo Celso. We need homegrown players. The clubs are looking at it, probably going, hang on, this makes sense. Let's get Lo Celso off, bring in a homegrown player. With Mason Mount, he does have some qualities. He's got a good engine, but he just seems to be a player that will pass it. Right, what he'd do is he'd pass it to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes will score an absolute worldie, and they go, it's another assist for Mason Mount. Like, you haven't really done anything. You've just laid someone off. I think about 3 years ago, he had some good numbers in a Chelsea shirt. But then injuries of, what did he play, 10 games last season for Man United? I mean, we've already got injuries in our midfield of Benton Core and Sarr not being fit, do we want to throw Mason Mount in there? And plus, Chelsea, nah. Like, I understood the Gallagher links because one, he left in his contract, and you're probably going to keep me for saying this. I think he fits the system better than Mount does, Gallagher. But Mason Mount's not going to leave Man United for £35 million. There's no chance. They're not going to lose that amount of money on 1 year after a few injuries.
I don't know.
I expect he's on mad wages as well.
Relative to his big money.
If they do sign a couple of midfielders, then there is a possibility he might leave.
They are in 4 comps now, though. They've got that rotation is going to be key.
But someone would also have to match his wages, Ram. I think that's probably.
He'd be hired. He'd be our highest paid player is Son on 180 grand a week. He'd trump that by 70 grand. There's no way.
But he'd also come in as your most successful player in your club's recent
we've got Timo Werner. He also won that Champions League. Nice try.
Well,
Romero's won 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup.
Club level, I'm talking here, mate.
Oh, right.
Squads need to be deep. If you're playing in so many competitions, you can have up to 5 substitutions. You know, you need 20, 21 that are there to play week in, week out, really.
Yeah, I think Mount will be given another. I think they'll give him another year, and I think Lobbins is right. It's the salary, and I think if he could have a decent year for us, but he's still on the periphery of the team, then it's probably easier to sell him to another club because you can say, well, look what he did for us. He scored these goals. He set up these chances. He stayed fit. And that's probably going to be the hardest thing for selling him is that he spent the last 18 months or so of his career pretty much bloody injured. That makes it really hard to sell somebody because availability being the best ability, as it were. But as a comment here, I love this.
I'd rather take McTominay.
I'd rather you take McTominay because you take McTominay, improve your team. We go and get Zubamendi and Ugarte. We improve our team.
Well, I won't take him so you improve. I think he's just.
That will go a long way to me winning my bet that you won't beat us in a final. So
yeah, Henry.
Hang on, how much goals did McTominay get last year for you?
More than your number 9.
If that's true, that is absolute.
I bet it's a guess. I'm guessing at that stat, but I reckon McTominay scored more goals in the Premier League last year than
McTominay started off as a striker, Terry, man. I mean, you know,
but McTominay is not a striker.
Quite good at scoring goals.
He's not a striker, though.
I love this from people, right? And I don't know if Prince Tutu said this about somebody else, but he says here Zubamendi has said many times he isn't leaving Spain. And then Maradona the moron says, why are people bringing up Zubamendi like he's going to go to United? Not happening. These are the same man that laughed when we got linked to Lenny Yoro. Not going to happen. No way in a million years. And it did. When will you learn? When will you learn? By the way,
Zubamendi was willing to leave Spain to go to Germany because of Xabi Alonso.
Exactly.
So, he is willing to leave Spain. I remember when they said Arsenal wouldn't get Calafiori because of I felt that I said at the early stages I'd be shocked if he left because most top Italians don't leave Italy. But the idea that it was impossible that he leaves, it's just a weird notion to take. Terry, are you putting money back into your club yet? Not yet. No, I haven't decided to do that yet. Just because I need to get wind of a exit plan for the Glazers. I need to know that there is an option in place or a plan to, like, in 3 years buy more shares, more like that, and then I will fully start backing Ineos financially in that way to help get the club to where it needs to be. But I can't give money if there's a chance in another 20 years the Glazers are still going to be here because I will not personally endeavor in making them money. I haven't got. I need to hear some more about the exit strategy first, and then I'm going to start doing it. I'm clucking.